Today we're talking to Albans City manager Ian Allinson, when for the second time this season the Saints have suffered a 3-goal defeat to Bath City, this time 4-1 at Clarence Park in National League South. But it's a strange old game, Ian. At times I thought we played some of the best football we played for ages, and we had chances, but at the back we always looked like conceding, and Bath weren't slow in taking their chances.
No, exactly. As I say, I felt we started really bright, really sharp, and within sort of 7 minutes again we're 1-0 down. And then probably had 15 minutes of real pressure. Probably had half a dozen corners, we've hit the crossbar, ball was bobbling around their box, and then again we've been caught with a sucker punch where we've let Watkins run too much with the ball, and he's put a ball in behind us, and we've been caught between the goalkeeper and defence, and to be fair, he's finished it quite nicely. And then you find yourself 2-0 down. I felt the last 20 minutes just before half time was the worst we've been for a long time again. I felt we lost our way a little bit, lost our confidence, we didn't pass the ball well. And then we've come out in the second half and had a real go again, and again we've been undone by a really sloppy third goal. Poor defensively, poor all over the park in the way that we've defended that goal. It's put them 3-1 up. We've then got obviously back into it with a good goal from Charlie Walker, and then we've had a real go, a real spell, and we've had the penalty that Sean's obviously missed. Or should I say the keeper saved it. We've had one or two other half chances and then got caught again on the counter attack by over pressing, and then the fourth goal was the one that's really gone and hurt us. But I think you said it there, it's some really good spells of passage of play when we've really looked on the front foot and played some good football and got good balls in the areas and created chances, and then we've had again the spells where we've had really inconsistency and gave away some very poor goals. And again today it's just one of them that's come back and bit us on the bum, and we've got to go and react quite quickly now and make some changes for me in terms of defensive side of it, because we've not defended well enough. But I've always said you defend from the front here, and I don't think we defended well enough from the front.
Bath's finishing for those first 2 goals in the opening 21 minutes was exceptional. As you say, we actually had 7 corners in that time, and the ball kept flying across the face of a goal. It shows one side that's confident. They're now 9 games unbeaten. Whereas for us, it's 1 win in 10. As I say, the team at the other end, that's us. We couldn't score despite having the chances.
No, and that's the thing we was doing at the start of the season. I think by the time we come to the end of November, I think we were up there in terms of the top 5 goal scorers in the country. Since then, we've struggled, and I wouldn't say we've struggled to create chances, because I think we've created some very good chances, but we haven't taken the chances when they've come along. We've snatched at shots, as we see probably at Paul a couple of weeks ago, where chance after chance to get in front and didn't do that. And again last week at Chelmsford in the last sort of 10-15 minutes we've had opportunities, but today we've had enough opportunities to come away with, I wouldn't say a victory after we've conceded 4 goals, but at crucial times in that game we've had opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net, which would have given us a bit more confidence of getting back into it. But we're going through that phase at the moment where the players are obviously lacking a little bit of confidence. Winning breeds confidence, but as I've always said, losing, you lack confidence, and losing becomes a habit as winning becomes a habit, and we've got to snap out of this as quickly as we can. It's a problem that's sort of crept up on us in terms of the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. We're having really good spells, as we've seen at Hemel, as we've seen at Concord, as we've seen at Chelmsford, as we've seen again today. But we've had some awful spells in between that where teams have scored against us and could have quite easily put sort of 4 or 5 against us in quick succession. So we have to go and work on that. We've got to go and work defensively on what we're doing wrong, and maybe we might have to just go and play really over cautious in terms of defensive side of it, instead of looking to attack teams from the get-go.
Well, 12 minutes into the second half of this game, Bath took a 3-goal lead, and we did look to be finished game. But 2 minutes later, Charlie Walker got an exceptional goal. We had a quiet first half, and we looked to be coming back. We've then, as you say, got that penalty, and the keeper did well save it. He's on loan from Bristol City, O'Leary. It's the 3rd penalty save he's made for Bath since he joined them, and that seemed to take the sting out of us again. Was Sean Lucian elected as penalty taker before the game?
Yeah, Sean was on the penalty taker. I think he's taken that's his 3rd one this year. He scored with the other 2, but that was the decision made before the game, and he was confident to go and take it. He picked it up, and I have to say I thought it was a very good save. I mean, the keeper's gone early, he's gone down really low. It wasn't a poor penalty. There's not a lot we can do about that. At the end of the day, you've got to give full credit to the goalkeeper. But it would have been interesting with 15 minutes to go if that had gone in, because I felt we was on the front foot and we had the momentum, and that makes it 3-2. And it would have been interesting to see how they react in the last sort of 15 minutes if we'd have got it. But as you said there, with sort of 5 minutes, it's again, we've not put the ball back in the box from an area, and we've got caught again trying to play it offside. I'm sure it wasn't. I'll see it more on your highlights, but we got undone. We got a little bit of fortune. In fact, the ball's hit the post and come back out, but we didn't react quick enough to the second ball.
A year ago, we'd be quite happy to sitting in the position we are in now. We're still 8th in the table, but of course Bath are catching up with us now. But people won't see it like that. 1 win in 10 league games, 1 in 12 if you take the 2 Hitchin Cup ties. Things are going to have to change.
Well, exactly, and we've said that. As I said to the players in there, the worst thing that's going to happen to us is on the 30th of April we're going to wake up and still be in this league. So there's positives to take from the first half of the season. But it'd be wrong for us now just to sit back and accept what's going on, because that's not good enough. We have to look to improve, because we also have to improve for this season, because if we do finish outside the playoffs and we're still in this league next year, as we said we will be, then we've got to look to improve again next year. And the progression is a progression. We said last year that if we could stay up and then progress this year, which is what we've done, but at the moment we've not progressed along the lines of what I would obviously like, because we've now taken a back step in terms of where we're going. If you look back at the end of the season and we did finish 8th, you'll say that's a progression from last season, but then we need to look to progress again next season and the season after and the season after, and they're the things that we need to improve on. So at the moment, from myself as the leader of this ship and to the players, we're not performing well enough. I'm certainly not going to give up in terms of looking to get in the playoffs. I think that we've got a side here that on their day is as good as anything in this league, but we're having too many days now where we're not performing to that level. So we have got to go and work hard on what we're trying to do. We might have to go and bring, say, one or two more personnel in, which is going to improve us, because at the moment with the change room we've got there, it's a little bit fragile, and as you said there, every time a team attacks us, it looks like they're going to score a goal. So it would be nice to get in front. It'd be nice to get a goal lead and where we can relax and keep on the ball. But every single game at the moment, apart from probably the Welling game, we've conceded goals in the first 20 minutes, and it's always uphill task in terms of having to go and chase the game.
Well, Truro City away next Saturday. I was talking to one of the Bath reporters today. He said it's very difficult not to beat them at the moment, but we can't afford to be complacent with the run we're on at the moment.
No, exactly, and the one thing that I'd like to think is we're not complacent. I think we've set up well again today. We worked a lot on what Bath did at Oxford on Tuesday night. Even the reports we had were spot on. But we've just not been good enough in terms of dealing with balls into certain areas. We've not stopped a cross for the first goal. We've let the fella run across the pitch in for the second goal. And as we've seen the calamity for the third and fourth goals, were individual errors. So, we have to go back and defend properly. We have to make sure we defend in, as I've said there, from the front. At the moment, I think we're probably a little bit too expansive. We're a little bit too open, but it worked for us last season in the running when I came in, when we knew we had to go and win game after game after game. We were very expensive, and we got goal after goal after goal, where at the moment teams have sussed us out a little bit. I think they're setting up slightly different against us. They're making it very difficult for us to get in behind them, and yet we're making it very easy for teams to get in behind us, and that's something we've got to look at very quickly, because at the moment defensively we do look fragile. But as I said it, and I'll keep saying it, you have to defend from the front, and I don't think we defended from the front well enough today.
No Ben Hurd today, of course he's suspended for the next 3 games, following on from today, and no Jack Saville. No,
Ben's obviously suspended, and Jack went over on his ankle at Chelmsford last week, so we've been told it's probably about 10 to 14 days with that, so it's been a week now, so hopefully by next Saturday we might sort of see some improvement during the week when we're training, and see if we can hopefully be fit for next Saturday, because obviously then we brought him in and we've not seen enough of him in terms of game time due to an illness and obviously picking up an ankle injury now, but that's something we need to get back as quickly as possible.
It was not a good crowd today, over 800, and I saw at the end you were waving the players to go and thank the supporters. It's difficult to imagine supporters cheering too much of that final whistle today, though.
No, and that's the one thing we have to take into consideration. The supporters at this football club have been absolutely outstanding this year. To get 800 here against Bath, and I think everybody wants us to try and push on and progress. And they've been fantastic, and I can understand them getting frustrated, and I can understand them getting annoyed, because you know, for the first half of the season, we really give them something to cheer about. And I felt at times today we give them something to cheer about. They got behind the boys in the second half. When it got back to 3-1, we could have got to 3-2. They really got behind the team, and they didn't let their frustrations at all today get involved in the game, and that was good from that side of it, because they've got every right to complain at the moment, because the football in terms of the defensive side of it and the goals and the games we're not winning hasn't been good enough. But you've got to take your hat off to the crowd to get 800 here, and that's no disrespect to Bath. It was a fantastic achievement, from the change room, from myself, from the players. We thank them, and as I say, they've got every right to have a bit of a moan and a whinge, and they haven't done that today. They've got right behind the team, and it'd have been interesting if we'd have got back to 3-2, what we might have got out of that in the last sort of 15 minutes.
Last few years, Ian, you've known little but success. This must be difficult to take, this run.
It is, but I think, at the end of the day, I've got to keep my nerve, because, I do believe in the changing room. I think we've got one or two that have dropped their standards, whether it's in terms of a confidence or they're struggling in their own performances. But that's for me and the management staff and the coaching staff to try and get performances out of everybody week in, week out, and a consistent performance. But I've been in this situation before. When we come in last year, we was a relegated side, and I've been in this situation before, and all I can do is keep my nerve and keep trying to get the best out of the players, just trying to get the players to believe in themselves. And keep the confidence levels going, because football is all about confidence, and as I've said before, winning becomes a habit and losing becomes a habit. We're in that situation at the moment where we're losing games, which is a habit. We've got to get out of that as quickly as we can, and we've got to do that by being on the front foot. We've got to be doing it by working extremely hard, and as I said to you, while I've still got mathematically an opportunity to get in these playoffs, I won't be giving up, and hopefully the players won't be giving up. But as we said before, we need to improve. There's areas there we're not good enough. There's areas there we need to go and keep working hard on, and hopefully we can turn this bad run around to like we did at the start of the season after the Ebbsfleet game. We put a great run together, and we've got to come back now quite quickly. We've got to regroup ourselves, look at what we've got in the change room, and look at what we can do in terms of progression, and obviously trying to get wins back on the board and get as many points as we can between now and the end of the season.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. I think you've got plenty to ponder this week. And of course, next Saturday we're back in National League South action, away to Truro City. Kick-off at Treyu Park is at 3 p.m.